here? What have we got? The generic board game background, check. Substandard lighting, check. Poor audio quality, check. Overrated sense of my own personal opinion, double check. Roll the intro. Welcome to The Point. Today we're looking at Spheres of Influence. It's a game by Little Nuke Games by Josh Lamont. It plays 2 to 8 players. It's a Kickstarter campaign. I was immediately drawn into the Kickstarter page by the font and the color palette they used to design the whole game. And then when I saw the page, it was, oh boy, it's Risk. The 70s called, they want their game back. But after reading the rules, they had some really cool game mechanics with the turn order, so I picked it up. Let's take a look at it. Here's a quick look of what you get in the box. There are cards and cubes enough for 8 players. There's also 2 alternate colors on the bottom that you got with the Kickstarter. Right now we're just using them for alternate colors for red and green, but you can easily pick up cubes for those colors, so you can have those choices as well. It also comes with starting cards to choose where you start. A giant deck of special cards that you'll draw throughout the game that help you with deployment or combat or all sorts of things. And a mitt full of dice, of course, because it is a traditional dice chucker, and it also has special dice that mostly the defender rolls during combat, but using those special cards that you could also roll them while you attack. Chart to see who's winning, rulebook, standard stuff. Let's take a quick look at a turn, and then I'll tell you what I think. Setup for this game is easy. Simply deal each player 2 of these starting cards. Everyone secretly chooses 1. They reveal them at the same time. They put 3 of their cubes on their starting card's location. Put the starting die on. Everyone puts 1 of their cubes on the progress chart, and 1 down here for winning the game, and 1 down here to see how much oil they have. Then you're ready to go. To win the game, simply control these spheres of influence, all outlined in different colors on the board. Each one is roughly about 4 territories large. This is all tracked on this chart here. As soon as you take a sphere of influence, you put 1 of your colored cubes on the chart here. Now you're on your way to winning the game. Every time you take over another sphere, you move down. Every time you take a capital city, you move across. Whoever is furthest down to this corner of the track is obviously winning. It's shown throughout the game, so you know who to gang up on. Now we're ready to start. Everything's listed here. First thing we're going to do is form the global turn deck. Everyone's added their 2 base cards. Even if they start with a capital that has an oil refinery, they move up on the chart, but they do not add their card. The card goes to the discard pile. For the first turn, everyone only gets 2 actions. As you can see, everyone has their great coat of arms on each card, but the backs are all the same, so you have no idea. So we've shuffled that, place that there, it's ready to go. Next thing we do is factions take turns placing their troops. On the first turn of the game, you don't place any more troops, but we'll go over that just so you know how it works. So you start at the very end of the chart, so red would go first. You would grab as many cubes that are in the red number here, so in this case you'd grab 2. He'll get +1 for still owning his capital. He'll get +1 if he owns for every sphere of influence he controls. He'll get +1 if he's taken over anyone else's capital. And he'll get +1 if he wants to discard any of his special cards without using their ability. Once he's collected all his cubes, he can place them anywhere he already has cubes. So any territories that he already controls, he can place more cubes, cannot place them in the C zones. Once all the factions have placed all their cubes, then we're ready to go into the turn phase. First thing you do in the turn phase is you simply reveal the top card, and it's Black's turn. On Black, he can do 4 things. He can pass, move, attack, or annex. Passing is you skip your turn, you want to see what else happens, you want to wait until your next turn, you just pass. Moving is if you're moving cubes into a territory that have no enemy cubes, or into a C zone. So the only difference in movement is C zones. If a faction started their turn in a C zone, they may make 2 moves. They get a bonus move as long as everything takes place in the C zone. So this Black has started the turn in the C zone. They may move here, and they may make yet a further move to another C zone, as long as it all takes place in the C. Like traditional games, if you're moving within territories, you always have to leave a guy behind. C-zones, you do not have to do that. You can move all of your units from one C-zone to another. Next thing black could do is attack. If there's an enemy nearby, you can only move one territory, so you move into territory with it, and you'd fight. We're going to cover fighting later. Next thing is annexing. Annexing is used when you're doing multiple factions. Say if I was controlling black and purple, I'd simply have to move more cubes in than there were purple cubes, and I can remove all the purple cubes, and now black controls that territory. So it's black's turn. He's decided he's going to move into here. What you have to do is immediately make sure that you increase the track by the number that you moved into. You can see up here, in the populous areas, there are giant numbers, so you might want to take those over quickly, move up the track faster. Black's moved into here, he goes up 1, and it also has an oil refinery, so he's going to go up 1 on the oil track. He immediately takes his card from the faction deck. As number 1, they're all numbered 1 through 7, so you can easily change the deck when you need to. Goes immediately into the discard pile, and his turn is done. Now we're going to flip the next card. It's purple. Purple decides he's going to move into here. So now we're going to explain what all these rosebuds are. Compass points, they're called points of interest. Every time you move into a point of interest or take it from enemy, you're going to draw a special card. Special cards can be used in 3 different ways. You can either use the main text, which can be used at all different times. It's going to, destroy enemy troops, give you more units, all sorts of different things. The other 2 things are up here in the corner. Either you can discard it during combat to use the special die, either defending or attacking. It'll let you use a special die, or when you're placing units on the table, you can discard it to get an extra unit. So purple's moved into here. His turn's done. Simply just draw the next card. Purple again. He moves into here. Make sure you move him up on the oil track and on the production track, and you have to make sure that purple immediately grabs his number 1 card and puts it in the discard pile, because now he's taken over an oil refinery as well. Then you simply go through the whole deck. Everyone gets their turn, moves on the track. When you get to the bottom of the deck, the turn is done. You move this down 1, and you go on to the next turn. It's just that easy. Alright, now I'm going to show you how attacking works. So, it's in the middle of a turn. We flip the next card. Look, it's blue's turn. Blue decided black no longer deserves to live here, so he's going to attack. Now he can attack with up to 5 eligible units. Eligible units means he has to leave at least 1 behind. 5 are going to attack, because 5 is the maximum number of dice you're allowed to roll. The game comes with 5 red and 5 white, so he's going to get his 5 red dice ready, because he has 5 eligible units. The defender gets to roll with all of their units, and he has 3. We look over in our chart here, and it gives us a nice little thing. If it's land versus land versus water, what it boils down to is the defender always is going to get 1 special die, unless it's an amphibious assault, i.e. water attacking land, then the defender is going to get 2. So in this case, he gets 1. Now players can decide whether they're going to discard special cards without using their ability to get 1 special die. So no one wants to, because blue knows black is doomed, so he's going to roll his dice, and black rolls his dice. Now, the neat thing is, what we're going to do next is group these up into 6s, because for every group of 6, you're going to score a kill. So there's 6 and 6. There's no other way to get more hits from there, and black rolled 1 hit here, and no way to group it up to get more than 1 hit. Rolled nothing on the special die. What he could have rolled was a block to block 1 of those hits, or just a natural hit, which would have counted as a 6. Now that everyone's rolled, you just take off the casualties. So blue caused 2, white caused 1, and you keep going until the attacker decides he wants to stop or has no more eligible units. Once all black is destroyed, because that's inevitable, blue can move in as many units as he wants, of course leaving 1 behind. And that is how combat works. The game lasts for 6 rounds. Whoever is furthest on the track, depending on how many spheres of influence they control, how many capital cities they control, they'll be furthest along this track. Whoever is the first along the track is the winner. What do I think? So that's spheres of influence. I have to say, I really like this game. The whole style of it, the ease of play, the turn cards, trying to get more turn cards in there, taking over the oil refineries. It's a great game all around. There's only one fiddly bit that's at the end, because you have the turn track or the score point track, so you can see everyone that's winning. If at around the final turn, there's people that know they can't win, and there's people that are close to being tied to winning, those people can sort of, kingmaker at the end, and sort of influence the end of the game. So that part is a little fiddly at the end, but other than that, I like it all. Like in this group of games, I'm going to rate it within this kind of class of game. Dice chucking, area control, just, sitting around having fun type games. I would not play it over Risk 2210. I'm biased. This is by far one of my favorite games. It has all the theme, the special cards, the leaders, the special dice. It has everything going for it as far as I'm concerned. But this is a very close second. It's far better than normal Risk. I would never play this normal Risk again. And I have Dust here as well from Fantasy Flight Games. It is also another one that's nice and full of theme, another dice chucker. But this is by far an 8 out of 10 in this class. Thank you very much for watching To The Point. Please come back to this channel. I'm going to have many more reviews. Thank you for watching. I'm Mike Walker.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.